If your sleep is off, guess what? Your glucose will be too. So if you are waking up at 2 or 3 a.m., if your fasting glucose is creeping up as well, and if your numbers are harder to control, even though nothing else has changed. Well, sleep isn't a luxury in midlife with type 1 diabetes. It's a metabolic strategy. And here I want to share why sleep impacts blood sugar more in midlife after the age of 40 than ever before. And just a quick reminder, if you want more videos and tips on navigating type 1 diabetes in perimenopause and menopause, be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow my podcast, Type 1 in Midlife, wherever you watch your favorite shows. Be sure to find us and subscribe and follow us so you don't miss an episode. So to understand why sleep is the missing piece in midlife blood sugar control, let's consider this. Number one, progesterone decline. This equals lighter sleep. So we're not getting that deep, restful sleep like we once did in our 20s and 30s. So progesterone has a calming effect on the brain, and as it declines in perimenopause, generally after the age of 40, more nighttime wake-ups do happen. We have more restless sleep, less deep sleep. So again, it's affecting our quality sleep. Not only the time you're in bed, but the quality and the restfulness that you may or may not be feeling the next day. Number two is poor sleep also increases our cortisol, that stress hormone. And when sleep is fragmented or interrupted, cortisol increases. So our body is sensing stress. If that time in the middle of the night when we are awakening, and that again is interrupting restful sleep. And cortisol rises early in the morning naturally as well. As we know, feet to the floor, we often have to do a bolus and get that insulin on board before blood sugar starts to kind of bump up. But poor sleep, it just simply amplifies this effect. So again, cortisol is such a key component to what's happening, not only with our sleep and our sleep quality, but how our blood sugar is responding. And the number three reason why this is so important and why it's happening is cortisol, generally speaking, it equals insulin resistance. So higher cortisol makes your body more resistant to insulin. So it doesn't get into the cells as quickly and as efficiently as it once did. And this often leads to higher fasting glucose numbers, more variability the next day. So that roller coaster of blood sugar tends to be seen on those blood sugar graphs. And the simple connection is this: lighter sleep equals more cortisol, which leads to more insulin resistance. Now we're understanding why sleep is really the number one thing that we need to be focusing on as we're aging with diabetes. So what can you do about it? So here's a few things to consider. Number one is magnesium. Love my magnesium before bedtime. It supports muscle relaxation and it calms the nervous system. Best to take in the evening, 1 to 2 hours before your planned bedtime. And it really, really does help to support deeper sleep quality. Number two is breathing practices. So again, you can do the 4-second inhale, 4-second exhale. These are great and simple. You can take them with you wherever you go. It's a great thing to practice right before bedtime. Again, just to kind of tap into that parasympathetic, that calming state of your nervous system. And 5 minutes before bed is another thing. Even if you're laying in bed, you can practice this. Again, intentional breathing and ways to activate that parasympathetic calming part of the brain and the system is really going to make a difference. And it's going to lower the nighttime cortisol, leading to more restful sleep. Another tip, number three, is protein before bed. So if you're dropping before bedtime, or if you just sense that maybe your blood sugar might kind of fall off a little bit as you're sleeping, depending on what you did and maybe what you ate or didn't get to eat before bedtime, it's really important to get that protein. So a small protein protein snack may help stabilize you. So definitely check that out. Experiment with that. And this also prevents cortisol spike from nocturnal lows. Again, we don't want the liver to be producing that glucose, which it will do to keep you safe and in a glucose range, even though we don't need that bump, but sometimes the body will naturally deliver it just to keep us, again, conscious and aware and in a safe zone with our blood sugar. But with the cortisol, that is only going to dump it even sooner or more often. Again, prevention is key, and that protein before bed can really, really curtail that. Now, another thing to consider is consistent bedtime. Yes. So the same sleep-wake window every day, even the weekend. So getting used to what time you go to bed, keeping it consistent, and your wake times will often start to feel natural to the point where you don't even need an alarm clock anymore. So your body just knows it's sleep time, and it naturally knows when your body is ready to rise and to start the day. So your circadian rhythm supports hormone regulation. And of course, cortisol and that stress are things that we want to mitigate. So again, think about irregular sleep. It equals irregular cortisol. So if we can take steps to mitigate the stress and the cortisol spikes, we can help maintain a good night's sleep and support not only blood sugar, but the other hormones that are happening in the body as well. So I encourage you to start with one change at a time, not all. So whether it's your bedtime routine, bringing in some protein, some deep breathing, considering the magnesium, whatever that looks like, think about it, try one at a time, experiment just to see how your body responds. So sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It affects insulin sensitivity. It affects appetite hormones. It affects our mood. It affects our decision making, all these things that we will see and experience the next day. And midlife hormones make sleep more fragile. So another thing to consider. But again, get this foundation built first before and when and if you decide to get on hormone therapy as well. And I have a lot of other videos right here on the channel that you can check out and learn more about. And this is not because you're doing something wrong, but because progesterone and estrogen are shifting. And that is part of where we are and what's happening in the body. And understanding all of this really, really does make this easier. So just to close, sleep is not optional in midlife after the age of 40. And if you want steadier glucose, start protecting your sleep like it's part of your insulin plan, because it really is. And if you want deeper guidance on how hormones, insulin needs, sleep all connect in midlife, I break it down step by step in my upcoming book. So stay tuned for highs, lows, and hormones. This is going to be a survival guide for women with diabetes from monthly cycles to menopause. So stay tuned for that.